when it comes to finding those team members, what are you looking for? Is it the skill? Is it experience? Is it a culture fit? Like, what's most important to you?
Yes.
Oh,
It's all three.
All three. I answer questions like that all the time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on Stir. I really appreciate the time. I like to start these off with really like hard-hitting questions, really nitty-gritty. So I'm gonna do that. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. What are the first 3 apps you look at on your phone in the morning?
The first 3 apps.
First 3 apps.
The Bible app
Love it.
and the Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Michael?
I'd say probably email, Gmail,
Yeah.
Instagram, and maybe YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube's interesting to me because, like, if I open it, YouTube and TikTok, and Instagram too, like the
I don't have
Reels
TikTok,
portion.
just got YouTube.
Okay, but the video portion of it, like if
Yeah.
I open one of those in the morning, man, I can burn
Yeah, it gets
15,
sucked in.
18 minutes, quick. Oh gosh, I better get ready for work. But I also, one of my first apps is the Bible app, and you know what I'll do is I won't use my phone to go work out in the gym in the garage. Just my watch. And when I grab my phone, the only thing on my morning focus is the Bible app. Because if it's not,
Right.
I'll get into email, I'll get into social media, and then just personally, I know myself. Like I'm self-aware enough to know that if I get into social, I'll burn too much time.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Is pineapple an acceptable pizza topping?
Yes.
Really?
No,
No.
to my wife it is, but I don't think it is.
Absolutely not, right? No. The texture is just it's too weird. Yeah. Okay, so BMMI, Bob Miller
Masonry,
Masonry
Incorporated.
There it is. Tell me, your third generation business. Right. So talk to me about when each of you, which are different paths into the business, tell me about when you got into the business and you had this moment of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be a business owner.
So I started back in 1998 working for the Generation 1 owner at the time, and started as an employee. And then in 99, 2000, Generation 2 took over, so I worked for them throughout their entire tenure.
Sure, okay.
And I'd say the moment that I knew I would be a business owner was, historically for me, it was way before I started working here. It was when I was still in Illinois as a young kid.
Okay.
But it just took me years to get to this point. But I think it was probably 2015 working for these guys when I had another opportunity to go on my own. And then it was made evident to me that if I hung around here, that it would become available as well. So I hung around till 2021, and then Generation 3, I was part of that transition.
Nice. And you're part of the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so third generation. I grew up during high school and through college, during summertime, all break times and stuff. I was there out in the field, and actually went to school for mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And working at BMMI during the summertime is what kept me going to school, because I wanted nothing to do with the business.
Really? At that time?
Yeah, at that time, wanted nothing to do with the business.
Okay.
It was hard work outside, and I appreciate hard work for sure. At the time, but it's just not what I pictured myself doing. So I went to school at USF, got my degree in mechanical engineering, and interned at a local company here doing packaging machinery engineering for them. And did that for a couple of years after I graduated, and I was really enjoying that, but didn't really enjoy the atmosphere of maybe just the corporate world.
Yeah.
Growing up as a Christian, being a Christian myself, and looking for being around people that are more building and giving, and not just complaining about different things and their boss and all these kind of petty situations and that kind of stuff. And it was actually during one of the messages on Sunday morning that I felt just a very clear conviction that God was telling me that I need to go back and work for the family company.
Go work for the family.
So it was, not the path that I expected, and pretty grateful for it. So I ended up quitting my job there and going and talked to my dad and said, like, hey, this is what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if you want me to go, start from the ground out in the field, come in the office, whatever you want me to do, just let me know. But this is what I feel like I'm supposed to do. So he was like, that's actually perfect because I've got an estimator who is older and trying to retire, but he's got no one to replace him. So he brought me in the office, training me on estimating, and it really was just a perfect fit with my engineering background of numbers and understanding loads and how things work, and also just the field experience that I had, 6-7 summers out there laboring and seeing how things were built. I knew how we did things and how we put things together. So it's just perfect fit. And it was within a year, basically, of coming back is when the opportunity came up of them saying, hey, we're looking to move on and looking for the next team. Do you want to be a part of that? So
nice. Now, how many are on third generation ownership?
There's 6 of us.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. So how many are family, like blood family? Like, what's the ratio there?
4 blood family.
Okay.
1 is in-law.
Okay.
And then Phil's the only non-family member.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was? Let me ask you. When you came to your dad, and you said, like, I'm feeling called to come back to the family business. Yeah. Was he like elated? Was he like, okay? What was his? And I'll give you some context.
Sure.
We had Casey Gonsmart on here, who was a third generation.
That's right.
Of the Columbia restaurant.
Yeah.
And his family, he didn't want to. He worked in the summers growing up, and he was like, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
And he left for a while, and then had an opportunity, or had, the calling to come back, and they were of course thrilled because now it's going to be a third generation owner.
Yeah.
Same?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was happy to hear it, but at the same time, he knows that I'm very methodical, very reserved as well, and the way I make decisions, I don't normally take risks and take, big steps to put myself out there.
Right.
So in that sense, he was a bit surprised, and he was like, "Are you sure? Like, this is, totally different than your normal career path. You sure this is what you want to do?" But at the same time, he knew it was God's plan, because he's like, I know you don't just do this kind of thing on your own.
Right.
But we, actually called my wife and went over to their house and ended up talking to him, and, we all felt the peace about it. So it was something that was pretty awesome.
And you strike me as somebody who spent a lot of time in prayer.
Yeah.
Both of you, actually, before making the decision to do it. So, okay, so what year was this is 2021?
2017 was when I came in.
In 2021, you become a business owner.
Right.
All right. Will you remember what month?
January.
January. Okay. Talk to me about that January. You're in charge. This is your baby now.
Yeah.
What was going on in your mind, and what were some things that you wanted to keep going? But then also, it's your baby, so I'm sure there are some evolutions that have happened since. What was going on in your minds in January of 21? Now that you are the guy?
I've thought about this question actually multiple times already, because it wasn't like a huge transition moment, not for me anyway, because we went through about a 3-year training process of meeting once or twice a month.
It was twice a month.
Twice a month for
at least
3 or 4 hours, a year or 2 evenings. We went through some very high skilled, like, college grade educational service or types of books, and did a lot of in-depth training to learn what to do. And we began transitioning some of the managing control of the company already a year before the transition.
Okay.
And so when the actual transition happened, it was just sort of organic.
Kind of already been.
It had already kind of been going.
Okay.
So to our customers, many of them didn't even know the difference.
Nice.
Which was the goal.
That's how it should be. Yeah. What about you? The same or?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely didn't seem like that day one, it didn't seem very different, because that last year, of the 3-year transition, we really were running the day-to-day operations. I was getting more involved in, the insurance and finance side of things that last year more than the first couple of years. The first couple of years, my main role is estimating.
Okay.
So now I'm the head estimator, so I've got 3 full-time estimators that I'm working with and a customer relations manager for sales and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, we each kind of have our own department that we manage and have our expertise in, which is great. I think we really help each other and support each other in that.
How do you like, from a communication standpoint, because you got six owners, so like is there a monthly meet, is there a weekly meet, like what's the standard at BMMI for the leadership?
We have a monthly meeting just for ourselves.
Okay.
And then we have a quarterly board meeting, which involves Generation 2 as well.
Nice.
As they're still part of the board. And then we have an outside advisor that's part of that board as well. That's always there every quarter.
Okay.
And then we have a group text that's ongoing. It never stops.
All day.
Best stuff is out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the beauty of it is that, like Mike said, we each have our areas that we're strong at.
Yeah.
And the key thing is that we never have our own agenda. We're always focused on the team.
Yeah.
The team as a whole. So we keep each other accountable, and it really works well.
How big is the team?
We have 110 employees.
Nice. Talk to me about the culture at BMMI. Like, what is the culture like, and has it always been the way it is now, or have you made changes to put your own stamp on things? Talk to me about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always been a kind of head down, work hard, long hour type culture for the business. I mean, most guys were on the job by 7 o'clock and usually done by 5.
Okay.
Not including the time getting to the office in the morning before that, prepping materials, going over plans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone's definitely out to help one another. We've got a huge team culture. I don't know of many situations we've had that people are really just looking out for themselves or trying to put others down to get themselves in a better position. It's definitely not like that. And that's, for me, that was a huge change from going from the corporate world.
Yeah.
My previous position.
Yeah.
And there was tons of things that I've took and learned in that environment, which were good, but also things that I knew I didn't want to continue with our business here. So
nice.
Yeah, we really focus on a we mentality and not a me mentality.
Yeah.
There's no I in team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so some of that stuff seems very basic, but we preach it because it's so important. And the values that we have as a company are super important. There's 6 of them. We have integrity, we have excellence, we have teamwork, then respect, trust, and appreciation.
Yeah.
Those are the 6 values. And when we're all going the right direction, things are great. If we ever get off track, those help us get back on track.
Yeah. And I find that organizations that have defined those values are able to, because any business at some point from time to time, it's going to happen, especially when you have 110 employees.
Yep.
Especially. But the companies who have those core values and they've defined them, what they actually mean, they're able to right that ship very quickly, and it doesn't even get that far off a track because of those core values.
Absolutely.
We got our core values defined by working with shout out Joey Brandon over at Axiom Strategic. You
I
know
watched
Joey
your guys'
Brandon?
interview. Yeah.
Great guy, Christian guy, wonderful dude. And he talked about integrity, meaning we say the hard things, which is what we have used as a definition. Telling the client, hey, this was a down month. Here's why. Here's how it can be corrected. Things like that maybe you don't want to hear, but it's the truth. It's the hard things. And just by like simply sitting down with our core values and defining them, I feel like has made us like a stronger company or have better customer service and a better experience and more value prop for the client.
Absolutely.
And when I do these interviews and I see organizations that have their core values in place, those are always the companies that are really, really strong. Okay, so you said something a little bit ago that was really interesting. Your quarterly or monthly meetings, you have second generation ownership that's there, so they're still involved. And like we often talk about like mentoring and mentor-mentee relationships, and how beneficial is it to have second generation there to kind of bounce things off. They've probably seen everything, right? Like so that has to have been huge for you, right? Talk to me about like situations where you were encountering something and it was the first time for you, but you were able to go to second generation and they were like, oh yeah, here's how you handle that. Can you give an example of something like that?
I'd say definitely it was helpful to have them during COVID. I mean, there were still, that was the last year of our transition, 2020.
Yeah.
So that was definitely crucial to have them there helping us through that whole transition of what we should do, how to respond to different situations. And obviously it's something they haven't been through, but just with their, wisdom and knowledge of, how things work and what we can do was definitely helpful. And then out of that in 2020, late 2022, 2023, we started having crazy material price increases with concrete and rebar and all sorts of stuff. It just went wild. I mean, just something that we've never seen before, they've never seen before. But they've definitely gave us some advice and helped us walk through that.
Nice.
Because that was a tough time. I mean, we were getting rebar increases once a month from the supplier, and we bid jobs that may not start for 6 months until we get awarded it, and then it's permitting. I mean, it can be like 8 months before you start a job from when you bid it, which in the past was fine. We'd get maybe a 3% increase a year. So either we're going to eat that little couple percent, or we go to the client, say, hey, we need a few more percent because it's been a year since we bid it.
3%.
Well, now it's
swallow,
now it's 20% or 10% every month or every quarter.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I don't know when this is going to stop. Like, what do we do? Right. So that was very challenging to walk through.
Yeah.
But they helped us for sure.
Yeah, they've been just great to bounce things off of for sure.
Nice.
They've been through anything you could imagine and then some. So yeah, like Mike said.
Yeah, I bet. Like I've had different mentors in my life throughout my career, specifically gentlemen who have been or are currently in my industry. And, just to have somebody that has been through something, in the past, even if it's close to it, it's not exact, like the wisdom. I always say we don't know what we don't know, right? Yeah. So like the wisdom that they know, where they can just say, oh yeah, I did that, 5-10 years ago or whatever, something similar. It kind of opens your brain up to stuff that you didn't know, With 110 employees, a lot of contractors too, yeah? Like guys out in the field, do you experience turnover? Like what's that like in your industry?
Turnover has been not a big problem for us.
Nice. It's rare.
I mean, we hear 20% turnovers from other people, but I'd say ours is less than 10%, 5 to 10% at the most. We have some really long tenured employees. They've been here actually longer than myself with the company, and they're still around. And then, we do have a little bit of turnover, but very little.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's usually on the lower end as well, the labor force. So.
Right.
But our, foremen and superintendents, project managers, estimators, office staff has definitely, been there for a while. So.
Nice. Who does the hiring? Like, is it a team effort? Or you have somebody else, or like?
I work with the HR department personally on that.
Okay.
And so we have an HR director, and she does all of that hiring and paperwork and all the stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, the personnel stuff, the difficult stuff, man.
Yep.
What's her name?
Her name is Alice.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I spoke to Alice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I met Alice. Yeah. Um, when it comes to finding those team members, what are you looking for? Is it the skill? Is it experience? Is it a culture fit? Like, what's most important to you?
Yes.
Oh,
It's all three.
All three. I answer questions like that all the time. It's all
love
three. Is there
answering.
one that's more important than the other?
Culture is probably the most important.
Culture fit.
It fits our culture because,
Yeah,
you can't put a square peg in a round hole,
you cannot.
and you can never make it fit if it's just not meant to.
Yeah,
So we go through an interview process, and we ask very basic questions like, what's your goal with this job, and
yeah.
where have you been? What have you been through? What have you done? What's your experience? And those kinds of easy questions, but we get to know the person pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And very seldom do they not fit.
So you're making good decisions more often than not.
We really work hard at it.
Nice.
How
do you get to know somebody? Like,
Well-
what questions do you ask? And here's why I ask. I find that no matter who they are, even if they are the perfect culture fit, when you interview somebody, I always say you're meeting their representative, right? They're on their best behavior. They look their best. They're measured in what they say. It's always going to be their representative, even if they are a culture fit. So how do you get past that to find out this person really is a culture fit?
Well, that's why I said yes to all three, because having a reference, someone that referred them,
Yeah, a lot of
is very key, and that's where we get the most of them.
Referrals from
Other employees. Yeah.
Wow.
And we actually have a $100. We pay them $100 if they stay for 3 months.
Oh, okay. So there's an incentive.
There's an incentive
Yeah,
to
they want to make sure
somebody.
they get the right guy or gal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. What if I was in your audience, what makes BMMI different from? I'm not gonna say other competitor names, but from competing companies. What makes you guys different?
Well, so I would say, without giving away any secrets,
Sure.
that we do concrete and masonry. That's our scope. That's our scope of work. But we really spend a lot of time understanding the project from top to bottom with every trade, because it works so closely with us. Mm-hmm. And we our project management team that handles that, I think is pretty priceless when it comes to the client, the GC or the homeowner that we're working with.
Yeah.
They're giving us a set of plans, and sometimes they're perfect and sometimes they're not.
Right.
And so we're going through them and trying to find out if things actually work the way they're drawn, or if there's something that doesn't make sense. We point it out.
Yeah.
Those are the things off the top of my head. Mike, you might be able to add some more.
We definitely, I'd say our team is the strong suit for sure. Some people are owner operators, and that's great, and it works for a certain scale. But we have a large number of customers and projects, and we have 6 owners throughout the business that specialize in different areas, and I think we play to that strong suit as well. So in the estimating, we can really dial in and spend a lot of time on the bid, looking for things that maybe don't work, or VE options, ways to do things cheaper or better. We can spend time and meet with the client, with the architect and engineer, and go over the plans. And we have a lot of eyes on the plans. I think that's a big part of it too.
For sure.
So it'll go from our estimating department. Once it gets awarded and contracted, we'll go through a job setup. We have a handoff meeting between the estimator, the project manager, Phil is our construction manager, and go through the whole set of plans, and talk about how we're going to phase the thing, what are the challenges, the issues, the RFIs we need to start talking about right away.
Yeah.
And then we've got field superintendents, we've got foremen that are highly skilled and been there for a long time. So I think it's our team. Is definitely the big part of our advantage.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that, something you just said was, and you've said during our time together, you're the estimator, you're that lead estimator and an owner.
Right.
And Phil, you're a construction manager and the owner. So you guys are ownership, but you're operators. You're still in the business. And so often, like, business owners just kind of want to pluck themselves out so that they can, be a visionary or something like that. But I just, maybe I'm biased because I'm an operator at heart, right? Like, I'm still, we were coding the site yesterday, right? Like, I'm still an operator myself, So I love that. I love that about what you guys are doing. Do you have a lot of, you've been around since 77?
Right.
A lot of repeat clients?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you do that? Certainly it's, we do a great job, but like, how do you keep that relationship strong? Because in the context is, I'm sure they're not building a project today and then 6 months from now building another project. It's probably years down the road.
Some of them build multiple a year.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful that build several a year.
Okay.
And there's a couple that build every couple of years.
How do you keep those relationships so strong?
Yeah, I mean, I think performing on the job is the key for sure.
Okay.
Always looking for any opportunity we get, whether it's estimating or project management or follow-up or whatever it is, we're always looking to add value to them. We're looking out for their best interest. It's something we talk about all the time in our managerial meetings is, guys, like when you're on the job, when, either homeowner comes out or superintendent's there or, good general contractor's there, what are you doing to provide value to them? Because it's a pretty tough market, that we're in.
It's competitive for sure, too.
It is competitive, especially the last year and a half. It's gotten more competitive because
Interesting.
not necessarily because the competition's changed, but the market's changed a bit. The homeowners are more price sensitive. Real estate's struggling just a little bit. Everyone's seen it and feels it. So everyone's asking questions, and we're not the low bid sub. We, stand by our value and our pricing. So we have to justify that to our clients. And so we've got to work hard, with every job that we're doing. We got to work hard to provide our value to the customer and also to the owner, that they see, well, why aren't you hiring this other guy that can do it for cheaper?
Right.
So it's something we're constantly thinking about and working at.
I love that.
Yeah.
We have a similar mindset here. Like, hey, we're not the cheapest, we're the best.
Yeah.
Right. And so we have to justify our rates. I love that mentality.
Yeah, we have a term that we had used over the past years: preferred trusted partners.
Yes.
Trusted partners, and so we had honed in on a sort of a top 10 in the past few years. But like Mike said, there's also been some tension in the markets, and so we've had a few others come in, but for the most part, we really make sure we take care of those top 10 preferred partners.
Yeah.
And so it's much easier for them when they're sitting with their clients, their owners, to be confident that they have a certain team around them. And so they build a team of subs, which we're one of those. And it's good for them to be able to count on us. Yeah. And so we make sure to meet with them well in advance. Several times a year, we're meeting with them to find out what they have coming up.
Interesting.
So that we can try to allow some room in our schedule for them.
And they feel seen, and so they feel that you're carving out that time. Goodness, they get the VIP treatment, so to speak. We want to make sure we got time for you when you're ready for your project 6 months from now, 3 months from now. Man, that's smart. I like that one. By my math, first generation 77 to 2000, 99?
Yeah, 2000, yeah.
It's about 23, 24 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And then second generation was then in the 21, so it's about 20 years.
About the same.
And you guys are a few years in now. So what do you want the world, the county, the city to know about BMMI over the next 20 years? What's the legacy that you want to leave behind as first generation and second generation left their own legacies?
Well, I think ultimately for BMMI to continue its legacy with Generation 4 and beyond is our goal.
Okay.
There's other things we talk about. There's higher things than just work. There's the outside other people that are hurting. There's third world countries that need help. So we support some ministries, and so that gives us a higher it's a higher calling than just showing up to work
Yeah.
and providing for our families.
I love that.
But we're also providing for our employees' families and giving them a long-term retirement plan through our 401ks. And, you know, it would be a bummer to just throw in the towel in 20 years
Yeah.
and sell the company. So
Keep it going.
keep it going.
Keep it going. I love that. The ministries, can you tell me some of them? Are you able to say some of them?
Well, one of the organizations we support is an orphanage over in Africa. So it's part of one of the churches that we belong to. And the story is, it's pretty touching, but so he's a pastor over in Africa, and he was at a funeral, and him and his wife at the end of the funeral were getting ready to leave, and they saw 3 small kids crying over on the side, and they didn't know what was going on. So they stuck around for a little bit, and turns out everybody left, and the 3 kids were left there, and it was their parents that had just passed away, and nobody was around to take care of them or do anything. And so they took him in, and basically from there just added one kid after the next and started this orphanage. And now they're up to, I think it's like 30 or 35. I actually just went there in August for the first time over in Kenya. So
Wow.
yeah, they're working on building a school right next door to the orphanage too. So we've been part of that whole thing. And with the previous owner, Ken Miller, he's been there several times and helped them develop plans and given them some vision.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. So that's been really special to be a part of.
Great ministry, yeah. In Kenya, you said?
Yeah, Kenya.
Yeah, I'd love to learn some more about that myself.
Yeah, it's cool. And they're actually right now working on that school project, and would love some extra help.
Yeah.
If they could get some from somebody, but yeah.
Do they have like an ETA? Like when it might be done?
They're under construction now. They started the footers when I was there in August, so that was really cool to see.
Wow,
I got to throw a shovel in the ground.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And they've gone through the slab, but that's where they're at right now with funds. So
I love it.
Need some more.
I think that when small. And another thing I stole from Joey Brannon, he says when small business is done right, then you can go out into the community and have this impact. And so for me, that's what's this driver that I have. Like, I want to make this impact in the community.
Yeah.
The business is the tool to do that.
Absolutely.
I love what I do, but it is the means to that end, to having an impact. And, I'm a Christian myself. Like, I'm not a guy to believe, like, there's this karma thing that people, I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but I do know that, as I have done more in the community, that he continues to bless us, right? And so, not that I'm doing well in the community to get that, but it does seem to follow you can't outgive God, right? And so the more I give, the more we seem to be blessed. So I'm going to continue to give and tell everybody else that they should do the same. Gentlemen, this has been so much fun. I really appreciate the insights that you provided to us today. Thank you so much for the time, man. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoyed doing it. Nice meeting you.
Thanks, Chris.